The expectations are high, being recorded.
I will not share with public. If anyone wants, I don't know.
No, I need.
You can send it to us.
Yes, I give to Dr. Rajan to give to everybody, all the recordings.
Okay.
But I think they don't want them with the public, right? This course, you don't want it to share with the
That's
public.
okay. You can
It's
share.
okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
May the whole world enjoy prosperity, happiness, and peace. May the grace of our Guru guide us. Dear friends, this is the topic we have today is genetic center, its purification, its association with mind, the special characteristics or action states of different things, of mind, of even a living being. There are action states that the divine state itself goes through. Okay? As part of Brahmanyanam, you've been understanding all this expansive picture, wide picture, you've been understanding it. And you probably have heard this, that Vethathirian philosophy is one of the deepest philosophy. It encompasses everything that you have to know about spirituality. You heard this. Yet we are introduced to the initial concepts, meditation, introspection, analysis of thoughts, right? Great first steps. And then you have been initiated as part of introspection 3 and Brahmanyanam into the divine state of self-transformation or Brahmanyanam. So after Brahmanyanam, what is it there for me to learn? If you think like that, you have to think deeper and deeper and sublimate yourself in the details of this divine transformation. You have gotten this instruction, you have gotten this understanding at an introductory level. Now, you are going to digest this in your mind, let this play out every day in your mind, and you are going to map this philosophy that you learned, the Brahmanyanam philosophy, in different things. And continually questions will be answered in your mind. When you learn Brahmanyanam today, it's not that you got the entirety of it. There might still be some doubts, there might still be some clarifications needed. Okay? So that is how you're going to keep transforming as you have received this and you start implementing this philosophy in your life. And beyond Brahmanyanam, okay, I become a sky master. What are the next theories that I have to learn? If you look at it like that, there are a couple of theories that immediately will come to mind that comes out as advanced Vethathiriam. Again, they all come within the Brahmanyanam, within the divine theory of non-duality that Maharishi states. But the first theory is philosophy of magnetism. Magnetism can be understood in great detail. We had a retreat by one of our senior professors in Yucca Valley just on magnetism. For 2.5 days, we looked at 12 poems. That's it. Okay, just philosophy of magnetism. Such a deep topic. Okay, and then the other important thing is genetic center. Okay, so such is the importance of the subject. Okay, so one of the important things when it comes to understanding this topic is we need to think. Let us think about what it is that we are doing here. Right? We are in the process of developing our mind. Okay? Why is it that the mind has to be developed? We have learned that the mind is evolving towards its perfection. Okay? The perfection of its sixth sense. Okay? So that is the natural state of perfection of the human mind. Okay? But in the natural state of perfection of the human mind, which is the fullest blossoming of the sixth sense, okay, every human being has what we call as total perspective vision. Okay? Total perspective vision means it is the characteristic of mind called perspicacity. Okay? In Tamil it is called Nunman Nuraipulan. Okay? So if you want to understand that, okay, the ability of a mind or a human being to think about the past, analyze the present circumstances, and take the right decision for the future. The right decision which results in either your word, your thought or word or deed that doesn't hurt others and only helps others. A moral way of life. Such is the ability of the human mind to consistently operate in this perspicacity state. Okay, that is the perfection of the human mind. Okay, now we are not in that state. The human civilization is not in that state. So, if we look at the reasons for why it is that we are not in that state, our mind has been trained in emotional ways where it only operates through the senses. Okay, so that is how we have trained our mind for a long time. Okay, so whenever our mind operates in this fashion, okay, it is in a state of imbalance. Okay, we are never satisfied with our life. We are never satisfied with our actions because your mind is not in its natural state of balance, which is the total perspective vision. Okay, how many times have you said, I should not have said this, I should not have done this, I should have gone a different way, right? So that is the sense of imbalance that we are in. Okay, that sense of balance comes when your mind constantly operates in a state of awareness. Okay, the total perspective vision becomes yours when your mind constantly is able to operate in states higher than what we call as emotional frequency, beyond the sensory consciousness. Okay, which is the higher states of mind that we achieve through our meditation. What are those states? Oh, sorry, I didn't. Okay, remind me to keep moving the slides. Okay, so this that perfection is achieved in higher states of mind called the alpha frequency, which we achieve in Turium. Okay, and theta frequency when you're able to operate in the frequency of the universal field. Okay, the delta frequency when you're able to merge with absolute space. Okay, so this imbalance leads human beings to search for the ultimate secrets. Okay, why is it that I am in this cycle of misery? Okay, that is where the search for God, the search for divine state comes. Okay, we all try to understand where it is that we came from. Okay, so that is the secret of nature, which is the divine state. Okay, in addition to understanding the divine state, Maharishi says the other hidden matter or the secret in the universe is genetic center. Okay, he says genetic center is a treasure trove of all the quality and skills. Okay, not just you, the entire infinite possibilities in the universe is inside you, in your genetic center. It is a secret treasure trove that you have. Okay, so that is what we are going to understand today. Okay, so this is what the introduction to genetic center is for you. Okay, so divine state is a source of all actions in the universe. Okay, we kind of I'm sure, I hope you kind of understood that in the Brahmanyanam course today. Everything, the source is the divine state. Okay, but that source, okay, is its potential is stored inside of you as a secret treasure trove that is your genetic center. Okay, so let us proceed to understand that in a bit more detail. Okay, so Maharishi says, in order for us to understand genetic center, we need to understand this important concept called magnetism. Okay, magnetism is one of the highest state of the divine power that has to be understood by us to understand everything else. Okay, so the reason is, remember we said the mind has the ability to act in its total perspective vision, the perfect sixth state of sixth sense. Okay, that mind itself is powered by this phenomenon called magnetism. Okay, this magnetism has the power to penetrate anything. It is a divine fluid, okay, in its scientific state. Okay, your mind with its perspicacity also has the power to penetrate anything. okay, to understand any secret of nature, to understand divine, to understand the smallest of atoms, to understand anything in this material world. Your mind has the ability to traverse all the frequencies. Such infinite potential for you to understand your mind and this genetic center, you need to understand what this magnetism is. Okay, so let us remind ourselves of this magnetism. Okay, that's why Maharishi says in a poem, எந்த ஒன்றை அறிந்திடில் இறைவன் முதல் எல்லாவற்றையும் உணர்த்துமோ அதுவே காந்தமாம். Okay, முந்தையோர்கள் அகத்தவத்தால் முற்றுணர்ந்த போதிலும் மொழிவதற்கு ஊமையின்றி முட்டி மோதி நின்றனர். இந்த நாள் விஞ்ஞானமோ ஏற்றம் பெற்றதால் அதை இயங்கிடும் மின்சாரம் மூலம் எல்லாருக்கும் உணர்த்தலாம். அந்தமா மெய்ஞானத்தோடு அணுவிஞ்ஞானமும் அறிந்து உய்ய பாலம் போன்ற ஆக்க ஞானம் காந்தமே. Okay, so in those states which when understood will help us understand from God till living beings, that is magnetism. Okay, even though in the olden days people understood this through a meditation, they couldn't explain it through examples. Okay, now we can explain it through the process of electricity, the process of magnetism. Okay, so for us, if we understand for us to understand philosophy and science, okay, the bridge is magnetism, is what Maharishi says. Okay, so with this information, let us proceed to understand what is this magnetism that powers our mind, that is the basis of the genetic center, that can penetrate everything, that is closely associated with the divine state. Okay, so what Maharishi says is, before we if we understand this science, okay, the science is essentially whatever you can measure in terms of the energy particle, atom, and anything above that, the formation of atoms is science. Philosophy is anything from the origin state until the atom. Okay, so so philosophy is the source of both the atom, okay, and its characteristics. So right now the time has come essentially to develop this combined vision of both the origin of the energy particle as well as the all the formations after that, okay, in a combined vision, that is Brahmanyanam. Okay, so only if you have this total perspective vision, the understanding, the complete understanding of the big picture will come, and you will be able to take the right decisions, and you will be able to balance your negativity in your own mind and be able to purify it. Without knowing your true infinite potential, you will not even have the motivation to purify your own mind, right? So in that context, the time has come, and when we are able to develop such a vision, Maharishi says, there will be love and compassion effortlessly in human beings. Okay, the world can be raised in its state of civilization. Okay, and world peace becomes possible. Okay, so this is the introduction to why we are searching for this great concept called genetic center. Okay, oops. Okay. So now let us go deeper into this subject. Okay, so let us remind ourselves of this. Okay, so in the entire universe, okay, there are some மறைபொருட்கள்னு சொல்லுவாங்க தமிழ்ல. மறைபொருட்கள் means hidden matter, okay, that you cannot see with your eyes. Okay, so there are four things that are essentially hidden matter or secrets. Okay, the first thing Maharishi says is absolute space. You know this from your Brahmanyanam course today. And then dust particle, the dust particle that forms from the absolute space when it crushes itself. And then energy particle when these dust particles come together. Okay, and then magnetism, because the energy particle again spins and throws these dust particles which come into the space and dissolve. Okay, so that is magnetism, the divine phenomenon. Okay, so let us remind ourselves of this. So all this, okay, all this result in the evolution of the entire universe, and human beings are the end state of this divine stage of evolution or transformation. Okay, so this is the order of function in the entire universe. Okay, so even though we know that right now the human mind is not so developed, the perspicacity or the total perspective vision is, Maharishi says, is a surety, is definitely going to happen, and we are all going to go there, because that is the natural order of transformation of this universe. Okay, now when we said all these things are hidden matter, okay, what are the how do we remind ourselves? Human beings, how does this order of function within human beings? Human beings, we have seen that we have physical body, we have astral body, and we have causal bodies. Okay, what does physical body mean? The body that is that formation that we see, that is in flesh. Okay, that is physical body. Okay, it is made of elements or panchabhutas, we can say. Okay, elements. And then astral body is what? Astral body is, okay, whenever there is an element, okay, any formation, solid formation, anything in the universe, what is it subject to? You guys learned this in Brahmajnana. What is the force that is surrounding everything? The compressive force surrounds every formation, and it is constantly compressing and applying the force on any elements. Okay, and there can be many scenarios in the universe or in the material world. Okay, your body can go through, or any formation can go through. Okay, so depending on the scenario, amount of pressure in any given scenario, okay, each formation or each element, okay, loses energy particle or gains energy particles. Brahmajnanam, you learned this, right? You guys should know this. Okay, any formation, okay, is always accumulating energy particles, adding more count or losing count. Okay, either forming or just being destroyed. Okay, keep that in mind. So similarly, okay, whenever in our physical body, whenever there is, due to the compressive force, whenever there is energy particles coming out and flowing freely, okay, this current is what we call as astral body. Okay, the energy particles, okay, function through our physical body. Okay, that is the astral body. Okay, it combines with our with all the elements in our body and presents a self-sustained circulation. Okay, that is how the order of function works in the human body. Okay, you know this already. Now, astral body. Now let us take that. Remind ourselves. What is astral body? Energy particles, life energy particles rotating inside the, circulating and spinning inside the physical body. What happens when that happens? It dissolves. Okay, what dissolves? The energy particle dissolves and throws out dust particles. Okay, that form a magnetic induction around that circulation. That is your biomagnetism. That biomagnetic circulation is called causal body. Okay, three things. Okay, any philosophy that you learn, advanced philosophy, you will start from the beginning, which is what we are doing right now. To remind you, because it's easy to forget. These concepts are easy to forget. Okay, your astral body, the life energy particle operates in your body. From the life energy particle, dust particles come out. Okay, there is a reason for learning all of these things, even though this is a complex scientific concept. Okay, you will know the reason in a minute. Okay, so and then from the physical body, all this arises. Okay, see the divine state. Let us remind ourselves of the divine state. From absolute space, dust particle combining and forming formations, becoming living beings when there is sustained energy circulation inside of it. Okay, living beings developing sensory perceptions. Okay, and then again the energy comes inside. Again the dust particles come inside and have a sustained circulation. Okay, the original process, reverse process constantly happening. Okay, keep this in your mind. Okay, now again this magnetism that is in our body, okay, that functions as our mind, our sensory perceptions, okay, has the ability to research, to penetrate anywhere. That is the reason that we develop what we call as the sixth sense. Okay, in human being in the perfect state of evolution, okay, where all the five senses, the magnetism transforms into five senses. What are those five senses? Touch, taste, smell, eyesight, hearing. Okay, and then what is this next transformation after that? After the sensory transformation, mind. Okay, mind in its fullest can function as sixth sense. In its basic functioning, mind will function as just the animal perception. Okay, even animals have that perception. What is that? Cognition, experience, and discrimination. Okay, so we are cognizing, experiencing, and discriminating between our sensory experiences, and sometimes we are trying to use our sixth sense to penetrate the reason for all this happening around us, to create, to be creative. Okay, so that penetrative ability of our mind we try to use. Okay, so
magnetism, just to be clear, is that the dust particles which have been thrown out and are free floating, or is it the energy particles which have been thrown out?
okay, so the energy particle, when energy particles are a combination of dust particles. Okay, the energy particles function inside your body. That is your life energy or your astral body. Okay, when energy particles spin and circulate, it dissolves, karaisal ஏற்படுகின்றது. Okay, it due to the friction, little dust particles are thrown out. The dust particles cannot sustain themselves for a long time. Only when they join with the energy particle, join together and form an energy particle, their longevity goes up, their life goes up. When the dust particle is thrown out, immediately it dissolves and becomes absolute space. There is a great secret there. It immediately dissolves and becomes absolute space. There is a great secret there that we'll understand in a minute. Okay, so this dust particles dissolving and becoming absolute space, mixing with absolute space, is called magnetism. Okay, it's a phenomenon. It's not an object. Magnetism is not an object. Magnetism is a phenomenon. It's a happening.
Really?
Yes.
Are they dissolving and disappearing into absolute space in our atoms and cells?
Yes. Okay, stay with me. Okay, don't try to think ahead. Okay, but stay with me. Everyone, stay with me. It's a complex concept. Stay with me. We are going to go deeper and deeper in the same direction. Okay. All right. So this magnetism, this is how the order of function, the divine order of function, also functions within our body. Okay. What are the things? The elemental formations, then the energy circulation, energy giving rise to the causal circulation, which is the magnetism. Okay, so we are trying to understand magnetism now. Before understanding genetic center, we are trying to understand magnetism now. Okay, so then the magnetism also forms. So the divine order of function functions in this way in our body. Okay, all right. Now,
I just have one question.
go ahead.
So magnetism is formed when the dust particles are created and when they're dissolved, yes? Going either way, right?
Yes, magnetism can, so the dust particles can combine together to give rise to
The spinning,
the energy formation.
and that's magnetism?
Yeah, and the energy formation can come together to form elements. Okay, and the elements can dissolve at any time. It's a continuous process. The elements can dissolve at any time, give rise to energy particles. Okay, energy particles can dissolve at any time and give rise to dust
You
particles.
get magnetism going both ways.
Yes.
Okay. I understand.
Okay, the same thing becoming everything.
Yeah.
Magnetism is the common thing. Underneath the dust particles, what is that?
Static state.
Absolute space. This is the theory of non-duality. Okay. Don't question this. Just understand this. Let it sink in. Okay. Don't question this. Okay. All right. So to understand God, to understand genetic center in a deeper fashion, we need to understand this phenomenon called magnetism that acts as a bridge through this entire process of transformation. Okay. That's why we said, which when understood will help us understand from God till living beings, that is magnetism. This is a deeper philosophy of Vethathiriyam that we will understand on top of Brahmanyanam. Okay. Now, let's go further. No action is possible within the universe without magnetism. Okay. How is that? Okay. We see the big, huge galaxies. We see the solar systems. Okay. The sun spins at the center. The planets come around. Okay. What is the field that they are operating in? The planets are operating in the magnetic field of the sun. The sun is, when it spins, it throws out dust particles that come and dissolve in huge quantities. That establishes a pressure field between the planet and the sun. It makes it stand at a specific distance. The planet spins, it also throws magnetism, so it keeps the sun at a specific distance. Same phenomenon for everything. Okay, this magnetism under different scenarios can operate as pressure. Under a compressed scenario, it can operate as light or fire. Under a different scenario, it can operate as sound. Okay, everything is magnetism. Only the perception differs. Okay, we'll keep going. When a magnetic transformation happens on top of consciousness, mind with its sixth sense perceives that in the same frequency naturally. Okay, so what does this mean? Let's understand this. Okay, in the body, the same magnetic transformation happens. Okay, so the mind is what? You spend your biomagnetic energy through your senses, through your mouth, through your thought, right? You're calculating in your mind. Okay, the vehicle, the underlying phenomenon that enables this is the biomagnetic energy. You're spending your biomagnetic energy to think. You're spending the biomagnetic energy to taste, right? So naturally, when this phenomenon happens, naturally the mind acquires the same characteristic of that experience and becomes that same frequency.
Because of the clashing with their
Yes.
particles?
Yes. So it is the same vehicle, the same bridge that connects your consciousness and the object that you are cognizing with. So your mind takes the same frequency at the object that you are cognizing with. You see a movie, you go to that same excited frequency, the dance or whatever it is, the fight. Okay. So very subtle concept again. Your mind, with its sixth sense, perceives anything that you do in the same frequency naturally.
So I'm receiving your frequency now because I'm interacting with you.
Yes.
So we have the same mind.
Mind. We are in a calm frequency. You go and see a action movie and where people are killing each other, your mind will be in an agitated state. So mind, whatever it does, whatever work it does, it takes the same characteristic. Okay? Register this in your mind.
So
Scientific.
we become what
We become what we do. Okay?
Are you using consciousness to be the same thing as awareness here?
Consciousness is, I'm using consciousness as the base of everything that in our mind, as the base of our mind, as the base of the thing that we are cognizing. Okay? So the consciousness is the awareness that you are perceiving. The perception is the consciousness. Okay?
So when Professor Vethathiri says that stars have consciousness, how does that work?
Let's discuss this question at the end. Okay?
Okay.
Let's keep going. Okay? You are with me so far? Okay? Many things that you are, this may or may not remain with you. Very low frequency, this will be stored. Okay? But keep reminding yourself again and again. Okay? So generally, how our mind functions. The reason I said that was we become what we do. The mind naturally, scientifically, okay, as a law of nature, takes the same frequency as what we do. Okay? Okay? So what we do generally, we function in the material consciousness, above 14 cycles per second. What percentage of our time we do that? 99%, can we say? 98%, 95%? Most of the time, okay? To understand hidden matter, to understand the secrets of universe, secrets of nature, your mind has to come below 14 cycles per second. Okay? This is what we accomplish through Kundalini Yoga, Maharishi says. Okay? Next. We'll keep discussing. I'm not going to leave anything hanging here. Okay. One more thing let us understand. Okay. Going back to the same question, right? So, formations come from dust particles. Dust particles can also come from formations. Originally, how did dust particles come? By the absolute space crushing itself. That also keep in your mind. Okay. Now, one thing that you have to keep in mind is, okay, the dust particles naturally are very subtler, very smaller than the atom, the energy particle, because they are operating together. When people come together and try to circulate, try to come around in circles, it will be slower, right? But one person does it very fast, you can do. Similarly, dust particle spins very faster and immediately dissolves. Okay, the frequency of magnetism, therefore universal or biomagnetism, wherever it operates, is higher than, okay, energy or elements. The energy is the formation from dust particles. The element is combination of energy particles. Okay, so the frequency of biomagnetism is higher. It spins faster. Okay, keep that in your mind also. Now, whenever operating inside the body, okay, this biomagnetism, okay, intensifies at the center due to this phenomenon called specific gravity principle. What is the specific gravity principle? Anything circulates, there is an intensification. There is a vortex at the center. Okay, so this genetic center or intensification, whatever its high intensity is, okay, there is an unimaginable level of intensity of energy in our genetic center. Even though it is like that, we cannot perceive it through our senses. Okay, we can only perceive it through a deep process of meditation and letting go of our external mind. Okay, there are three minds. Okay, let me just tell you this. I didn't put this in the slide. The mind that we operate in right now is the external mind, peripheral mind. What is that? 14 to 40 cycles per second. And then the mind that you get at alpha state. When you go to meditation, you go into an intuitional state. It is called the Nadumanam, or the intermediate mind. Okay. And then the Almanam, the superconsciousness mind. The superconscious mind is essentially the genetic center and beneath it. Okay, your mind can go beyond the alpha state and go beneath that and perceive the secrets of nature stored in your genetic center. Okay, keep that also in your mind. Now, magnetism, its characteristic is, from just like it is always forming and leaving in your body also, whatever you do, the dust particles are constantly thrown out. Whatever you do, you are always spending the magnetic energy in your body. Okay, this magnetic energy in your body, okay, constantly leaving, goes through transformations. What transformations? Anytime a magnetic energy is released, you have an experience. A magnetic energy is released, the dust particles go and spin and dissolve into space. It does, after it dissolves into space, it imparts its vibration to the next particle. It's a wave phenomenon. It imparts to the next particle. It imparts to the next particle until it loses its reflective ability. Okay, so it merges into absolute space. Okay, so the experience, this experience is accumulated in your genetic center also. You all have learned that. Okay, this experience, whatever new experience anybody has, is accumulated in the genetic center, but that experience is also released into the universal field. It keeps on imparting into the entire universal field and becoming absolute space. Okay.
It is imparted only through the use of five senses?
It is imparted through the medium called magnetism. Even through the use of five senses, you are perceiving an experience, right? Sensory organ is a tool. You are perceiving an experience, right? The taste, smell, or a feeling of pleasantness or happiness or sadness. That the perception in your consciousness. Who feels it? The consciousness or awareness feels it. That experience is stored in your genetic center. That experience is also imparted into the universal field by propagation. The dust particle with that vibration goes and dissolves, quickly dissolves into absolute space. Before dissolving, it imparts its vibration to the next dust particle. Like this, any feeling of pain or pleasure transmits through the entire universal field around you and keeps becoming absolute space. So who perceives that?
We all do.
We all do in our egoistic state of mind, but it also is perceived by the entire universal consciousness.
So that's what Nina Ma says when she says every single thing is recorded everywhere forever. It never leaves.
Never
That's what
leaves.
She's talking about.
Yes, everything is recorded everywhere and accumulated everywhere,
Forever.
and that accumulation is part of your own genetic center also. From when? From the origin of the universe, okay, origin of living things, so many characteristics of all animals, living beings, okay, all that specialized and became the human genetic center. Okay. This specialization that is your personality, even though you are not using all of it, in its dormant capability, in its dormant potential, is transferred across generations. It is transferred across human beings after your death. Your genetic center may be imparted to your progenies, your children. Your genetic center may be transferred after your death with a like-minded individual soul. Okay, it might get attached with that. Like that, this specialization, this accumulation of special skills, this infinite special skills constantly happens. Okay, our children become smarter than us. Okay. So, keep in mind, the mind is conditioned by its experiences, okay, but the mind is not using its full potential at the base of it, which is the genetic center, okay, which has the infinite potential to be creative, the infinite potential to be clear in its thinking, the infinite potential to be in the state of perspicacity, the total perspective vision, the infinite potential to be always loving, to always be compassionate. Okay, let us remember that. Okay, so this is genetic center. What did we learn? The genetic center is essentially magnetism, the magnetic phenomenon. Whatever vibrations it imparts, okay, whatever experiences it goes through, it constantly gets accumulated in your own genetic center, at the center of your causal body, and you keep integrating all the experiences, and your genetic center keeps specializing. Okay, all right.
So I have a question. So everyone's in here's experiences are recorded in my genetic center, or just my own experiences?
So your own experiences are strongly imparted in your genetic center. We can accept that.
Right.
And depending on the type of people you move with, okay, their experiences, you are collecting it as somebody's experiences, but still you are storing it. Okay, you go and mingle with a group of friends that do meditation. You learn things from them. Those learnings are imparted in your genetic center, right? You go with a different group of friends that happen to go to a pub and engage in a lot of emotional and enjoyments. That experience is also you learn. You may not fully accept it, but still those experiences you learn as somebody else's experiences. Okay, that experience might induce you to go through that same experience depending on how much you accepted it. Right?
And that's it's all happens without our discrimination.
Based on your discrimination, the imprint may be stored with a judgment. Your judgment of that experience is also stored in your genetic center. If your judgment is weak, then that imprint might try to come up to life in your own experience.
So we have to be careful.
Yes.
Where we go. And
Yes.
who we associate
Yes.
with.
Yes. Okay. Anyway, this is all you will get answered in your own research. Okay. Now, so essentially what Maharishi says is,
It's also stored in the absolute space.
yes, absolute space perceives it. Yeah, absolute space, its storage is the universal magnetic field. Absolute space is nothing. Absolute space create. We are part of absolute space in its expansive nature. Okay. So when it's stored in our genetic center, it is stored in absolute space.
Because you're a fragment.
Yes. Right. Now, so the divine state in its expansive nature is what? Solid matter that we perceive as formations, okay, and then the energy matter that we see, okay, and then the wave matter that we see as magnetism. This entire phenomenon is called God, is what Maharishi says. Okay, God is just not absolute space. This entire phenomenon, this happening, is the divine state. Right? Now, this entire phenomenon, which is the absolute space, okay, and the formations, the continuous process that is the formations, okay, and the energy particles that you see in the universe and in our body, and the wave matter happening. Wave matter means what? The sun, the planets coming around the sun is a wave. They are at a certain distance. The wave is keeping them at a certain distance, right? The light coming out of the sun is a wave, right? And then the phenomenon that is happening in our mind, in our body, the taste, everything, that is a wave, right? So all these continuous phenomenon you call as the divine state, right? A river, what will you call a river? Is it the bed of the river? Is it the water? Or is it the water that flowed yesterday? Is it the water that is going to flow tomorrow? It's a continuous process, right? There is origin, there is a source, there is origin, there is a destination, which is a sea. Okay, like that, the entire phenomenon is nature. Okay, now, mind in ourselves is this the amazing perceiving force. Okay, enabled by again this magnetism, this phenomenon called magnetism. Okay, the thing it uses to measure everything is magnetism. The thing it uses to taste everything is magnetism. The thing it uses to store that is magnetism, right? So this secret treasure trove that is containing all the secrets of this entire universe with its infinite possibilities forms the basis of our mind called genetic center. Okay? Okay, now let us go into 2-3 minutes of questions. Okay, I know I gave a lot of information in a short period of time. Okay. And this subject probably deserves more than 45 minutes. But this is an introduction. Take this as an introduction, right?
I have a book. What book does he explain this in? What's the name of the book where he talks about this?
Universal magnetism that you have,
Yeah,
and then genetic center, there is a book.
Those two?
Yes.
That's where he explains this.
Scientists are telling the God particle, right? Is that dust particle?
Yes.
So that size only they are trying to calculate, right?
Yes. The dust particle, they call it as the Higgs boson. The Higgs boson, when you go and try to get a simple explanation of it, they call it the celebrity particle. Celebrity particle is when the celebrity goes across the room, everyone converges around it. Okay. So what happens there? The dust particle, everyone converges around the celebrity. Okay. They are also saying that Higgs boson immediately disappears. Okay. So apply it to the same theory. Dust particle immediately dissolves into absolute space. Okay. When it dissolves, what happens? The spinning goes down around absolute space. Okay. When something goes down in speed, everything else collapses into it. Okay. Right? Everything converges around it. You can explain the Higgs boson using the same. Yes.
So when you talk about the dust particle dissolving back into absolute space, you talk about it slowing down. But then you also talk about the dust particle spinning very quickly, faster than anything else.
Good question. Okay. So when it comes out, okay, the dust particle spins really fast, so it imparts its vibrations on everything around it, right? But it being very small, okay, it is quickly compressed by the surrounding absolute space and dissolves it. Okay, so the frequency traversing is quick. Okay, it could be any frequency. For each frequency, there may be a different sensation. Okay, for perceiving a for whenever you have a moment of peace and you release the magnetism, the magnetic waves in your mind, mental waves, okay, that may be a slightly different frequency spinning. And when you have a really heavy imprint, shock, that may have a different imprint, okay. The spinning determines the frequency.
So the formation, when it is formed, due to the self-compressive force, when it is forming, it is coming at a higher frequency.
When it's forming, right? Sometimes when it slows down in only when particles can come together. Okay. As it slows down, if there are energy particles that align with the same frequency, it can come down together to form a energy combination.
And it dissolves, it even goes down further.
Yes. So, for example, let's say in sun, what is that? It's made of hydrogen atoms. Sun. Okay. What is that? 2 atomic elements, right? Right? Yeah. So there is so much pressure in the sun, right? Due to that surrounding centripetal force. Okay. So in that pressure, okay, the atoms are able to come together in this magnetic phenomenon called light. What is the transformation of magnetism? It could be pressure or it could be light, right? In sun, it is becoming what we call as fire or hydrogen, okay, and still dissolving. That is also collapsing, okay. But it in that intermediate state, it comes together as a magnetic transformation called light or fire and becoming hydrogen atoms. It could be any number of combination depending on the scenarios, depending on the situation.
Hydrogen becomes helium.
Right. Okay. Yeah, we cannot. We don't have the time to discuss all the possibilities. So there are infinite possibilities like this. Keep that in mind.
Really?
Yes.
Is
Yes, Jill.
this the time to answer the question about consciousness?
Yeah. Can you repeat that question again, Jill?
Well, first of all, Swamiji talks about something called knowing, which seems to be much more than consciousness. So we have knowing in his vocabulary. So we have knowing, awareness, consciousness. I asked a question about consciousness earlier to Professor Vethathiri, and I asked if stars had consciousness. I would imagine stars also have a genetic center, right?
So genetic center is a reference point of name that we give for living beings. Okay.
For living beings, okay.
Yeah.
So explain to me about consciousness.
Consciousness in the universal field, okay, consciousness manifests as different things in different states. In the universal field, consciousness, how does it manifest us? Pattern?
Well, he said pattern, precision, and regularity, which
Exactly.
I've never really understood.
Exactly. So that is the manifestation of consciousness in the universal state, okay. When it comes to living being, then the cognition, experience, and discrimination manifests, okay. And then when it comes to human being, sixth sense on top of cognition and experience and discrimination.
Well, is there a generalized way of and I'm not good with pattern, precision, and regularity. The others make sense to me, but they never have. So is there a generalized description of consciousness? Because this sounds like much more than consciousness. And then, I'd like to go back to the question that Christine started to ask about the genetic center. You go into a room full of meditating people, and you feel a sense of compatibility with them, and you share dust. You go to a football game where I do not feel compatibility with anyone. What happens? Is there something about the pattern of my genetic center, Christine's genetic center, your genetic center, that attracts different kinds of experience, or
Yeah, see, that is not consciousness. That is your mental perception, right? So mental perception is everyone perceives the happenings around them according to their own frame of mind, according to the parameters that they apply, according to their own judgmental abilities, right? So consciousness, a general description of consciousness is whatever we are discussing now. Consciousness means totality. Consciousness means infinity. Okay? So to define consciousness as one thing is to define everything in the world as one thing. No. You could call it one thing as everything, but when you want to define everything in its own precision, then you have to go into the details, right?
all right.
I confuse people when they ask complex questions. That is my way of getting out. Anyways. But, yeah.
Is the potential of the genetic center to live in this frequency, or the absolute frequency, which isn't really a wave in itself, but is that what that potential is, to be able to live in that state?
The potential to be able to perceive everything from that state. So, it is in a state of natural balance. Remember the first point that we talked about? What is the state of natural balance?
The past,
The perspicacity.
and everything
Yes,
happening.
a total perspective vision. So, the full potential of the genetic center is to perceive everything, to live life in its total perfect balance, in its total perspective vision. Okay? To always do the right thing in this world means you need to have the understanding of the entire nature. So you conform to the law of nature. You conform to the laws of society. You conform to the laws of your mind or morality. So you don't go wrong anywhere. Okay, this is not something that you can practice and somebody can train you on. It should effortlessly blossom, just like a mother loves its child. Okay, that total perspective vision is the full potential of your genetic center, and it comes, okay, when your mind can operate in the above states, alpha, theta, and delta.
So our thoughts.
The last question, and then we are going to go into the next stage. Okay, go ahead.
So what are our, if we are living in a state of perspicacity, then our thoughts are in alignment with everything around us? What happens to our thoughts when we have perspicacity?
When we are perfectly, our thoughts,
Yes.
when we have the total perspective vision, our thoughts are always positive. Our thoughts are always good. Our thoughts are always peaceful and harmonious with nature.
Naturally.
Yes, naturally. Are harmonious with people around us.
No negative thing.
People around us are influenced by our positive thoughts, by our peaceful feeling. Remember the feeling we all got when Meenama came,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
The pure genetic center, okay, when you purify your genetic center, okay, and you when somebody always says nice things, says nice things, does good things, okay, it rubs off on others. It gives you a sense of peacefulness. That is near total perspective vision. Okay, let's go in. Okay, conclusion. So, nice segue. So, good point.
Maybe next session
Oh, sorry.
you can add one picture, dust particle spinning and joining.
In the Brahmanyanam course, it was not there.
Yeah, you
Ah, yes.
No, you didn't
No.
have that problem. You had it in introspection.
No, I didn't do the Brahmanyanam. Ayya did the Brahmanyanam, right?
Yeah, it wasn't.
I didn't watch it. I only did his presentation. We put it there. Okay.
No pictures.
Slide.
No pictures.
Picture, Brahmanam பண்ணும்போது picture கேட்டாரு.
Okay, maybe at the different slide use பண்ணிருப்பீங்க நீங்க. மீராக்கு யூஸ் பண்ண ஸ்லைட் பண்ணலையா? மீராக்கு யூஸ்
அது
பண்ணி.
யூஸ் பண்ணது
Oh, okay.
இதுல இருக்குன்னு எடுக்கல
Okay.
புதுசா
So we just had only slides, text.
Okay. The reason I didn't put picture is because I put the picture and remember third introspection, the same divine picture was there.
Yeah,
Okay.
introspection.
very like which one they got doubt
So the person is
not
not
like
asking.
Doubtful.
It would be nice.
We'll go to the
we
picture,
have
don't
a
worry.
Pictorial representation. That's what he was asking.
genetic center
Biomagnetism. I mean, Brahmanyanam program we did it like he was talking.
Okay, let's finish the topic, okay? At the end I'll show you the picture, okay? After 4:30, whoever stays, I'll show you the picture.
You're gonna send slides anyway. We can at that time.
Yeah.
Yes. Send slides also, yeah. So, to realize our true potential, okay, so the total perspective vision is required, okay? We need to be able to develop that, okay? So, for that, our genetic center has to be purified, okay? Now, in the if you look at it one way, God and genetic center are the same, because from a perspective, the same divine state manifested into everything, magnetism, and became this body and genetic center. Theory of non-duality, Advaitam. What is that? You are one. Tattvamasi, you are the philosophy. Aham Brahmasmi. Okay? Brahman is you. Okay? So God and everything is the genetic center. If you look at it one way. Okay? Only thing is, difference is, the phenomenon called divine state or God explains the expansiveness of nature. Okay, expansiveness of nature means, what is nature? Infinite, we call it. Infinite means what? Anything that you can think of in this world, any experience that you can think of in this world, any creativity that you can think of in this world, iPod, iPhone, Steve Jobs' creativity, or somebody else's, Elon Musk's creativity, everything is part of this expansiveness. Everything came from, all this intuition came through this divine universal field. Okay? When scientists think about something, they connect to the universal field, the ideas come to them from nature. They just patent it and say it is theirs. But it is the power of the human mind that creates these infinite possibilities. Right? So, the expansiveness of the nature is the divine state. Okay? All the history, all the potential, right? This years of training as a living being is all locked up in our genetic center. The potential, that is potential. We can unlock the potential through the right training of our mind. Okay? So, the power of mind can be harnessed with the right training, aka meditation, in introspection, and doing right things. Okay? And we can make our life peaceful and prosperous, and make others' life around us peaceful and prosperous. For this, we need to purify the genetic center through a proper training. Okay? And through the proper understanding. Training is there, understanding is also necessary. Understanding is what we got now. The total understanding of how everything works. We are not an egoistic entity, right? We are part of a divine system. There is no need to accumulate more and more money for us, more and more material for us, beyond a certain need. Okay? So that understanding, you have a fast car, okay, that is the tool, training, the ability to drive a fast car. But then where will you go with that? You need to go to a good place. You need a map. You need an address. That is the understanding. Right? So, you guys forgot to remind me of this. Okay? So this...
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Vethathiri said, so the way we really learn is we have understanding, then we have knowledge, then we have realization.
Understanding is knowledge, and then training. Training is meditation.
And then we realize through our own experience.
Yes, your own experience, you calculate everything and always keep doing good things. Okay? So,
whatever we say, you feel that as though you yourself realized, or it is as your own thought. It come out. It is not just because of others said, we understand.
It's kind of like remembering.
That is realization.
yes.
No doubt in it at all.
Through a proper training, you need to strengthen your mind and first remove the negativity from your mind. What is the first negativity? Ego, right? So you need to destroy your ego for your genetic center to be pure. That is the bottom line, right? So for that, we need to understand that, okay, whenever we have some special characteristics, okay, it is not just because you are entitled. It's just because your experiences, your opportunities gave you the ability to train better than probably the other person. The other person probably had some other different opportunities to get trained in a different area better than you. Okay, so there is always a natural balancing act in this world. Okay, whoever realized, they share their experiences with others. That's why we have the Vedas, the Upanishads, the literature. People who are creative, what do they create? They create new ideas and they document it and share it with others. Okay, that knowledge becomes the knowledge of humanity. People learn it and enlighten their own lives, right? So whenever you think that you have achieved a high state, okay, or you're teaching to others, or you're learning from others also, never look at it with ego. You're just being part of the nature's balancing job. I'm not teaching and you're not learning. Okay, you're receiving the extra knowledge from some place and you might be giving your extra knowledge in another place. Okay, so that's how you need to approach it. Okay, this is the example that we already saw this. Okay, so the dust particle, whenever it goes, it propagates. Okay, it propagates. Whenever you learn something, it is a natural law of nature to automate. Whether you like it or not, you will teach it to others. Think about it for some time. When you know something, how can you benefit from it? Only when you let others know, right? Then you are teaching others, the other person is learning, right? So that is, ego should be destroyed, okay? And a few other things that we need to learn as part of this thing is, remind ourselves as part of this thing is, okay? We learned all these things today. Just to summarize this. So in living beings, we said we have mind and we have several aspects, right? So our body, as a living being, we have a physical body, life force, biomagnetism, and we said we have genetic center, okay? And then our brain is a tool to calculate, to perceive the sensory experiences, okay? And then as a result of the accumulation of experiences in the genetic center, we develop what is called a personality. Personality means what? The quality of experiences in your genetic center. In Tamil, ullamnu solluvanga. Okay. I know it's Ayya and I used to discuss that separately. Let's not go there now. You know. So personality is your is the core of your self. Okay. And then the personality exhibits as your mind. Okay. So genetic center, stored experiences, potential. There is a certain quality or style to your genetic center which reflects as your personality. The personality is exhibited through your mind and use the senses to enjoy and experience things. Okay, so this is the big picture overview for you, that you are a living being. This is how you operate. Okay, and we said for you to develop the total perspective vision, where you need to be. We have 5 states of our mind. What are the 5 states of our mind? Annamaya kosam, which is body consciousness. Manomaya kosam, which is material consciousness. What are those 2 things? When you are worried only about your food, it is body consciousness. When you are worried about your enjoyments, emotional enjoyments, it is material, manomaya kosam, material consciousness. When you go beyond the below the 14 cycles per second and enjoy and become enjoy the intuition that comes into it, the clarity that comes with it, okay, that is soul consciousness, okay, pranamaya kosam, okay, and that is where your inner tuition starts, inner learning starts. Everything, the hidden potential becomes unlocked when you go to that frequency. That is when you start accessing your genetic center, its full potential. Then the hidden secrets are all revealed gradually when you can train your mind in these states, above higher states, okay. And then universal consciousness is highest state, okay, where 4 to 7 cycles per second, the theta frequency, where all the secrets of nature, the concept that we just discussed, genetic center, magnetism, okay. When magnetism is whenever you have any experience, you release your magnetism. That magnetism immediately goes and propagates through the entire universe and dissolves quickly. What did we say? That is the secret. Dissolves quickly into what? Absolute space. So the absolute space is what? Pure Brahman. Brahman itself immediately perceives your experiences. That is the secret. That is the hidden matter. Okay. This is, when I am saying it, it becomes a statement. You are receiving it with amusement. Okay. But when you truly perceive this and think for yourself, okay, right now it is understanding, little bit of understanding coming to you. When you truly practice your mind in that frequency, this becomes sublimated in you. This becomes realization. Revelation. Whatever statement I made, you will feel as a revelation when you think deeper and deeper along the same lines. That whatever experiences I have, at the base of my mind, consciousness itself, Brahman itself perceives that. When I hurt myself or others, I am hurting God. When that revelation comes, you will never hurt anyone. Okay? Love and compassion will become natural because of this revelation. Right now it is a statement and amusement. Slight understanding. Okay? You need to keep thinking and researching in this topic deeper and deeper. That is why I said this is one of the advanced topics of Vethathiri. You have to learn this in the highest state of mind.
So the more I read this in the journey of Vignamaya Kosha, and what's the last one?
Then absolute space, God consciousness.
Okay, so
Anandamaya Kosha.
Vignamaya Kosha. So I read this and spent days just thinking about it. Now I hear you, and so what I'm seeing though is like, I'm a realtor. I work with homes, and I've become very involved with the homeless in Talia, helping the homeless people, and so I suddenly now have this very strong awareness of poverty and the homeless. I used to never see these people, so they weren't in my consciousness, and now they're in my consciousness. But sometimes I feel so much compassion. I feel so much sadness. It becomes too much, and I get. It hurts so much, when I see the suffering and feel the suffering. When I feel the suffering of the planet, and what I see, even in my little town, and people homeless, and it's cold, and there's people playing golf, spending millions of dollars to hit a ball. It's so crazy, and the Super Bowl, and all this, and I can't. My mind goes crazy. I cannot understand. How do you keep doing your work? How do I keep functioning? Because it seems like the more I feel, sometimes it becomes difficult to just do my work and cook, and I get kind of engulfed in that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Really, the
This
greatness.
Yes.
It's like our Vallala says, "Vadiya payirai kanda bodallam vadi
So yeah, this is a detailed conversation. We can have it at the end, but the quick answer to it is, everyone has their own opinion. Quick answer to it is, whenever you have strong anger, whenever you have strong feelings for others, channel that into something constructive. Channel that into passion in your work. Channel that into passion in your duties. Channel that into passion in your prayers. Okay, let's keep going. So last two slides, and then we are done. So for you to achieve this total perspective vision, you need to keep researching and develop this understanding more and more. Keep this. Never forget this. You will easily forget this high philosophy. Okay. Never forget this. Keep up your spiritual practices, train your mind, okay, and plan your activities where you don't do things that contaminate or hurt your genetic center, and always plan and do things that purify your genetic center. So what are the activities that contaminate your genetic center? Constantly having unfulfilled desires, so you become depressed with your own self because you are not able to achieving that. What is the answer? Simplify your life. Okay, and I'm not saying this from a position of there. I'm also trying to simplify my life. So I'm a student here as well. Okay, but simplification is the answer. Okay, and we all hurt others without ourselves even knowing it. Okay, setting wrong expectations. Okay, and just having a habit. Okay. Training your mind in meditation will help you think out of the box. It will bring your own mistakes to your own awareness. You will know your own mistakes. Okay, that's why we meditate. At that time, try not to repeat it. Have a plan of action to avoid that. Okay, try not to hurt others. And whenever you are not able to achieve something, looking at others and practicing jealousy. Okay, not able to accept others' growth. Okay, those are things that will hurt your genetic center. Okay, most importantly, okay, we learned this in Kayakalpa, not practicing balance in food, sleep, work, sex, and use of thought. What is that? Limit and method. That is the formula. What is limit? Not overdoing it, not underdoing it. Okay, method means morality, not hurting others when doing it. Okay, and then other thing is, some of us, that the example you brought, hitting golf balls for expensive, paying expensive, spending a lot of money, right? So in spite of all your material wealth, in spite of all your talent, you let it go waste. You engage in silly materialistic pleasures. Okay, so spend time giving. Okay, as a sky master, you go and ask any sky master and ask him, how can I progress spiritually? He will say, first thing, do your practices. But for you, the bottom line is, the genetic center should be purified. Bottom line for spiritual progress, any sky master will tell you, is purification of genetic center. That is the bottom line. So for that, first start giving. first step is start giving, so you get more opportunities to grow spiritually. What can you give? Could be a thought, could be your work, it could be your material prosperity, portion of it. Okay, so when others start benefiting as a result of you, the blessing that you receive from others, okay, purifies your genetic center. Okay, if you engage in laziness and try to accumulate more and more of it, what is that called? Miserliness. One of the 6 harmful activities. Okay, kadum patru. Okay, so it will induce you to steal more and more from others. Okay, so that is how your mind will become so heavy that it will never achieve satisfaction or happiness from whatever enjoyment you go through. Never be content at all. So for you to purify your genetic center, you have to do your duties properly. You have to duties as a family member, duties as a responsible member of your country or society or whatever it is, or humanity. Okay, and then you have to do your practices. Okay, so simple formula for purification of genetic center is meditation and spirituality. Spirituality means morality, duty and charity. Meditation means always practicing your mind on God. Okay. திளைக்கும் வினைக்கடல் தீர்வுறு தோணி இழைப்பினை நீக்க இரு வழியுண்டு தனக்கும் கிளைக்கும் அக்கேடில் முதல்வன் விளைக்கும் தவம் அறமே நல்ல துணையாமே. What does that mean? Okay, for you to cross the ocean of your imprints, okay, there are two ways which will help you and your generation. Okay, so the two ways are meditation and spirituality. That will help you as a good guide. This is a Tirumandiram poem. Okay, so meditation means always understanding divine. 6th point here, understanding divine state and practicing frequently merging with it. Okay, every day you have to merge. I was telling Doraisamy today. Okay, go to the universal field, go to absolute space. Don't stay there for 2 minutes, don't stay there for 5 minutes. Whenever you have time, spend there 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Okay, இறைநிலையோடு எண்ணத்தை கலக்க விட்டு ஏற்படும் ஓர் அமைதியில் மனம் விழிப்பாய் நிற்க நிறைநிலையே தானாக உணர்வதாகும். நித்தம் நித்தம் உயிர் உடலில் இயங்கு மட்டும் உறைந்து இந்நிலையில் பழகிக்கொள்ள உலக இன்பங்களிலே அளவு கிட்டும் கரை நீங்கி போகும் தன்முனைப்பு காணும் தெய்வம். Whenever you practice merging your mind, freezing your mind in the divine state again and again and again, okay, you will automatically get limit and method in your activities, is what he says. Naturally get limit and method in your activities. Okay, the second state is, okay, your all your impurities will leave you. Okay, the ego will leave you and you will see God. Okay, that is the 6th point. Understanding the divine state, researching in it, okay, practicing meditation, Turyadita meditation, and merging yourself in that absolute space every day and day purifies your genetic center. And then from that clarity that you get, from that natural ability you get, practice these things. Respect your parents, never hurt them. Respect your teacher. Guru drohamன்றது என்னைக்குமே பண்ணக்கூடாது. Okay, some people just jump from guru to guru, teacher to teacher. They think that this system is not going to help them. Something new exciting comes, they go there. Okay, be loyal to your guru, follow what he says. Okay, and then respect the laws of society, respect the laws of nature. Okay, life partner, fulfilling the life partner, proper balance of blood, air, heat and energy through the limit and method. Okay, avoid enmity, hate and vengeance. Practice what? Forgiveness, compassion, pleasantness and love. Okay, don't discriminate against anyone because of their country, race, caste, religion or language. Vanity should not be there. Okay, and most importantly, don't steal others' efforts. respecting properties and efforts of others, of society, of nature. Preserve them, give back to society. And attitude, humble, practice humility, cooperate with everyone. Okay? Achieve synergy in your work, achieve synergy, always be ready to help others. If you want to be successful in life, first ask yourself, what are the capabilities I have? How can I use that capability to help my family, to help my workplace, to help society? Okay? Be ready to serve, then you will be successful in life. Your genetic center will gradually become better and better and better. Okay? In this state, you will be able to move towards perfection. It's not magic. It's not done in one day. Okay? Just because I'm sitting and teaching here doesn't mean that I have achieved that. But together, we will all go in this journey, form a culture around us that promotes this way of living. Okay? That is the important point. Okay? Okay. That's it. I'm done. Thanks for taking the time.
Can you share these PPTs? Experience.
Thank you.
Yes.
The
Again.
last slide is amazing. Last to the 8 points. 10 years.
See, those points can be that can be the first slide, and people can you can say these are the do's, these are the don'ts. But humans will not do that until it comes naturally to them. Humans do what comes naturally to them. For that only you need training. Just let's say what Steve Jobs created all these wonderful gadgets that everybody is jealous of. How can this guy have so much creativity? Okay. Or Vethathiri Maharishi effortlessly wrote all these books. How can he have so much creativity and thought? That's because
his qualification in second standard.
That's what they enjoyed most. That's what they trained themselves in. So it became habit. Okay. Jill or anyone in the online, any questions?
Yeah, two mundane ones. I understand there's a book called The Genetic Center. Can you arrange to get it for us?
Yes.
And the other one is, I don't know why I'm so stuck on this issue of consciousness. I'm not going to try and discuss it with you anymore, but what would you suggest that I particularly read to finally get it?
I would say read Journey of Consciousness again and again and research.
God.
I didn't read any secret book. I only read Journey of
40, 50 times. It certainly does say Journey of Consciousness. Okay. Then,
read Swamiji, talk to Swamiji. When you read his book, you are talking to Swamiji. We are just ordinary teachers.
I do that when I meditate, not when I'm reading, but I talk to Swamiji when I'm meditating. And then,
Let me get out a point that is relevant to this, Jill. So the context I was trying to make was, these lectures are to arouse your curiosity. Like I said, 45 minutes are not enough to discuss this great topic. Okay, 45 minutes definitely was not enough. This topic can be discussed over 2 days.
Do you think my curiosity needs any arousing, Merlin?
No, I'm saying is, so the second step is, because your curiosity is aroused, read Swamiji in all his books. You will talk to him. He will tell you that, and the universal energy, that is the Guru's energy, will intuitionally reveal to you. Okay, keep researching. I mean, of course, we are here to answer your questions. Ask questions to us. We'll answer. Tell me the next question.
Well, then there's what Christine said. What Christine said, I've been saying to you for years. I'm really not looking for an answer. I just want to share with her that I know exactly what she's talking about and feel it very deeply myself.
If there is one secret that I could share, that the secret is, because I taught you here, I probably understood it much better. I learned it much better. So if you want to learn, teach.
He is the best.
That is the secret. I am learning to teach you guys. So to give this lecture, I am learning. So that is it's essentially sharing, and it is not real teaching for you because I am not the teacher, the ultimate teacher. So it is to arouse your curiosity. But so if you want to learn it better, teaching can be a better way. That's a recommendation. But read the books. Read the books.
So please give us the genetics center.
Yes, read the books. Yesterday you got it, no?
Oh, you gave it to me yesterday?
Yeah, you gave that Garden Genetics Center.
I don't think I got that.
No, I didn't give it.
Okay.
You
I
have
thought I saw that book yesterday, no?
Yeah, she asked me.
Oh, you gave it. Okay.
Mina told us about that book when she was in California.
Well, it is ready to come in Kindle. So give me 1 month, then I'll put it in Kindle.
genetics center?
Yeah,
Oh la la.
I'm preparing it.
Oh la la.
Okay. All right. Any other questions? This you guys really deserve more time for this class, and probably somebody more seniors probably did not do justice to this, but again, read the books, and thank you so much for your time. Keep thinking about this. Okay. Be blessed. Certificate Narajan ittu vandirukara
Be blessed by the time. Sorry, I need to leave.
Okay.
But I like to thank Ayya, Amma, and Murli. Be very blessed and lucky to have you all.